because I'm planning to do a fair bit of a road trip later on this year, I've decided that I've replaced the coil pack and the leads, and I've also replaced the fuel injectors. I've also replaced the fuel pump, and I'm about to replace the fuel regulator. So off with the cover again. She hasn't been running bad, it's just that I thought, well, these parts have been in there for over 30 years, so it's probably a good time to be a bit proactive on them, and the parts are actually quite cheap at the moment. The coil pack and DFI was around $84, which was pretty good. The fuel injectors, the recode ones though, $165 for 6. The fuel pump, well, I picked up one for $40, I ended up dropping it and breaking a clip off it, so I had to buy another one. That did cost me $100. The fuel regulator is the most expensive part. It will cost me $193, even though that was significantly cheaper than what I could buy locally. That was online. Anyway, I'll just end it right now at this point, because I need to pull the cover off, and then I'll switch on the video again and see how we go. Well, I've got the cover off now, which is good. And that's the little baby I want to change, and the good thing about it is that it is really easy to get to, which is good. So pretty happy about that. Anyway, I've got to depressurise the fuel system, which is just a matter of pulling out a fuse and cranking her over, and then I'll replace it now. Like I said, this one had been in. This is just the original one on the car, and its engine's now is about 30 odd years old, so it's just a bit of preventative maintenance. It's only 2 bolts, so in theory it should be okay. It should be easy to do. I removed the cover from where I've got all the fuses. This is the original fuse box, etc., but I haven't potentially used it all. And I have to remove the fuel pump fuse, which is the one right at the end, which is the blue one. Anyway, got the old one off. It's just a matter of 2 bolts and undoing the fuel line, and I'll attempt to put the new one in. They say to put a little bit of clean engine oil on the O-ring. That's what they said on the fuel injectors, so I'll do the same thing. Here's the old one. New one. So pretty happy with that. Identical. Anyway, I'll keep going. Alright, the new one's in now. Like I said, just 2 bolts, fuel line, and just the vacuum line, and she's done. So now I'm just going to put the fuse back into the fuel pump and start her up and see how she goes. Alright, I'll just prime the fuel line, but you have to wait. If I switch it off and wait, I think it's for 15 seconds, you'll hear the fuel pump come on again and get a bit of fuel up to that fuel line. So I'll just do it a couple of times so that that fuel line is primed, and I'll give it a whirl, see what happens. There we have it. Just check it for leaks. Can't see any at this stage, but I'll let the old girl warm up and we'll have a look. So, as I said earlier, new fuel pump, new fuel regulator, fuel injectors, DFI unit, new coils, new leads, new plugs. So the fuel system, and I guess half of the ignition system has been replaced now, and hopefully she's good for another 10 plus years. I will say that the parts are pretty cheap at the moment for these earlier Commodores, and even the, some of the later model ones, good value. I've probably spent about $500 on those parts. Luckily enough I can fit them. So in the scheme of things, it's a pretty cheap thing to do. Anyway, I'll leave you guys at that, and sorry, I just apologise a bit because I'm not really good at this YouTubing, but I'll hopefully get better at it and keep us Bedford guys interested with a bit of stuff. I know this is a Commodore engine, but it's in a Bedford, so hopefully you guys are okay with that. Anyway, talk to you soon. Bye.